Okay, now we have 2 jet bombers here. Generally not great to buy, are they? They cost 50 and don't do a lot of damage. They're good for bombing admins because they bomb a very, very wide radius because they're flying so fast that the bombs get dropped far. And what we're talking...
by most of the players are glass cannons. They cost 50, which is huge. They're only medium bombers, but when you're using them with Blitz, they are really quick. So
yeah, they outrun almost all fighters.
Research them, but yeah. They're only probably the unit you use if you stack for some firepower against huge stack of AA, and you have some spare cash. But this is not considered as a good weapon for Germany. Yeah, people might disagree, but 50 is a lot for a unit that dies quickly.
Exactly. Okay, let's just get on with it then. 3, 2,
Oh, did
1.
we explain what we have to do in here?
Oh, well, not really. Yeah, so it's bombing angles. I hope I said that. If I didn't, sorry. Yeah, the bombing angle is often important because you can destroy a lot more depending on more or less depending on what angle you're coming from. For example, it takes 2 of these jet bombers to kill a building because they don't hit it right. Well, it depends on the length of the building. 1 will kill an AA base or a proto base, I think, because they're longer if you bomb them at the right angle. You see? Where the importance is here, because every bomb does a certain amount of damage.
Fast bombers like those, yeah.
And the
if
bombs.
you use Blitz, that bomb would spread wider because the fighter is the bomber goes faster. So
Exactly.
you have to be careful with using your ruses, because you might ruse yourself.
It doesn't make a difference with any other bombers, I don't think, because the other bombers are just too slow anyway.
No,
maybe the Italian ones.
As Blitz bombers and Italians, yes.
Yeah. The axis
so
like
here,
they're fast
gonna
bombers.
hit those bases at the angle that the bombs would be dropped across both of them. So hopefully the both buildings will be destroyed. With light bombers, for example the German ones, you probably wouldn't get it because they're too slow and they do not carry enough bombs. So maybe you could kill 2 buildings that are very, very close together. But nobody really builds like that because of obvious reasons. The bombers could kill more buildings.
Yeah. Okay, now we're ready to go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. See how wide a radius those things bombed, and that wasn't even on Blitz. And so yeah, that was the proper angle, killed both buildings. They would only have killed 1 if we'd say gone parallel to the road here. We'd only have killed 1 of them.
And also, by hitting from side, you might avoid a bit more AA rather than going just straight at it. So sometimes it's worth to micro planes to side and hit it from side. Not even buildings, but even moving targets like some units. That would make it a bit safer for your planes.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you're not flying into the AA to turn back, you're turning back away from the AA, back to your base. So you spend less overall time in the range of the AA. Alright, next is airfield sniping. Now what that means is getting your fighters to manually targeting. You have to manually target, as in get down close and target each fighter individually, because otherwise it won't work. And you do need them reconned, but otherwise your fighters and fighter bombers can hit individual planes in the airfield, but the planes are stacked so close together on the airfield that often you hit more than one.
Yes, this is very crucial to that you don't keep your planes on the airfield. Why? Why would you do that? Always take them off
Yeah.
as soon as you can. Make them fly.
You
It
also,
doesn't cost you much.
yeah, and you have a faster response time with them usually as well. If they're taken off. So there's no reason to leave them on the airfield really, unless you're cooking up a nasty surprise for your opponent under camo.
People still get surprised by that. So spy is a great tool for sniping airfield because planes will
Yeah.
be discovered on the plane and then you can hit it. And this is especially painful with fighter bombers when you can actually manage to kill 3 or 4 planes with one bomb. It is painful, and
Yeah.
that should
I
never
think
happen to any player that is even as medium level. Always
I'm
get your
using
planes on the
Spitfires
airfield.
here,
Doesn't.
but yeah, fighter bombers do more damage. So I'll have a nice slightly zoomed in thing, and our conveniently placed airfield popped up in the middle of the map here. And 2449, let's go in 3, 2, 1. As Spitfire should be coming in. Gotta manually target. Here they come. That one only hit one. There. Was that 2 or 3 that one of them hit there? So yeah,
I
they can
think
do a
it's 2.
tremendous amount of damage. Well, still. Okay, gonna pause it there. Yeah, and that's basically it.
Again,
Nothing else to say
we
about that.
can't stress it more. Always take your planes out of the airfield. It's such a great loss if you lose all of your planes. It's pretty much game breaker if that happens to you.
In a 1v1,
And it's not only
yeah.
planes, like your enemy RT could hit it with one volley and destroy it all. So don't ever leave your planes like that.
Exactly, planes are very vulnerable on the airfield. In fact, funnily enough, they if you move an AA gun up next to an airfield, say, they'll, one-shot the planes more or less, but not from the ground.
Oh yeah, by the way, watch out for armored recons. They will kill planes on the airfield as well.
Oh yeah.
And I had a couple of games like that when I drove armored AA. Not armored AA, armored recon into somebody's base next to the airfield, and as plane was landing, you just kill them one by one.
Yeah, it was
Very
me.
annoying.
It was embarrassing.
And yeah.
At least one of them was me. You said you did it to someone else as well. Anyway, that's it for them. Oh, also, I beat you yesterday, so, end recording. Alright, so here we are. This is what I was talking about. That's why I had to call it airfield takeoff at the start, because this is airfield positioning. What we mean by that is, it's important where your airfields are placed on the map. I don't know why you would have an airfield in the middle of strongholds, but we do. Say though you're playing strategist or something, some huge game, and you do have a forward airfield because you've secured space in the middle, and the enemy's front lines are not far away. That's when this sort of thing is useful. So, yeah, I captured Lagmaster's base that he had in the middle, where I sniped his planes. So.
Yeah, that's the more likely scenario when you cap your opponent's airfield and you're not aware of some AA.
Yeah, exactly. Because planes, unless you tell them otherwise, will land at the closest airfield after they've run out of ammunition. The closest available airfield. So,
yeah, the planes that are routed will basically don't have any control over them anymore.
yeah, they just fly home. Even if you put fanaticism on there, after the routed, planes won't obey your orders. Yeah, so in 3, 2, 1, go. Let's just see what happens here. If my Spitfires will ever move. No. Oh, yeah, I remember. I have to get engaged first, but I win because you have worse fighters.
Yeah, I
So
have
now,
much less fighters, so it was pretty much suicidal runs. But no,
yeah,
all of the
I'm
planes that were
flying
routed
home.
are going
Yeah,
for the airfield
exactly.
that is
Flying home
next
to
to
the
AA.
yeah, the wrong airfield, and look, they're all dead, more or less. Nope, one got away. Yes, it got away. But even then, because of the position it is in now, it as soon as I take off this plane, it'll fly into the AA again. Also, that's a nice thing about strongholds. You can put A on, you can put units on those castles. Uh, yeah. So,
Very
but
cynic from
that's
them to
it.
firing from.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should have
Yeah,
got a
so
clip
the
of that.
lesson to learn from here is that capping an airfield, even though it gives you a bit more space for your next planes, might not be a good idea. So think what might be a problem later on.
Yep. Okay.